I stand firmly in the fact that I'm one of the best to ever do this. For the culture, for my coast, and for my city. This is the best rapper in L.A.Podcast. And I'm your host, Murs. What up, though? All right, y'all. A part of me. This is episode 60 in honor of the great Nipsey Hussle and his street organizations. We'll play some Nipsey Hussle.
Pull up in motorcades. I got a show today. It's all I'm trying to do. Hustle and motivate. Choppers a throwaway. Hustle the overweight. That's why they follow me, They think I know the way. Cause I took control of things. Ballin' the solo way. And if you pattern my trend, I make you my protege. Crossing that soldier race. Don't know them days. Take you in back of the buildings. Make you expose your rage. Take you across the tracks. Make you explode the face. Now you official now.
Writing sessions is where to start this. Writing sessions. A lot of you aren't familiar with the industry. A lot of hit records. I'm going to speak on something I feel like I know and hope I don't get in trouble. There are writing camps all throughout the industry. So it's usually a writer or a couple writers who are also singers and then producers. They write and create songs for other people. Let's just say George Strait, for instance, is the voice of country music, the legend as I hear, the guy, the Rakim of country music, as has been told to me.
Haven't gotta worry, haven't gotta care, I haven't got a thing to call my own. Though I'm out of money, I'm a millionaire, I still have my home in San Antonio.
I bought his box set and I studied him for, I believe, Love and Rockets 1. I studied George Strait, or maybe it was before that. And about the back when you buy a box set, and then I read the book that came with it, because they usually come with a book. So James Brown, Michael Jackson, a lot of these, Curtis Mayfield, I bought a lot of these box sets over these albums because I don't listen to any rap and I study I picked three artists or groups. And I was studying George Strait, and he doesn't write at all. One of the number one country singers. And it's easy. It's easy to me, an easier comparison to Drake, even because I don't know what he writes or what he doesn't. I'm not here to say, but even if he's guilty of what everyone accuses him of, so what to me? George Strait is a country music legend. I just don't understand why in our community it's such a big deal for you not to write your own stuff. We have to get over that. Elton John never wrote a fucking song. And it's dope that the ghostwriter, as I mentor kids, I'm like, some of us, even me, I would have been a better writer. I keep saying, let me write for Dre. Let me, I don't even like the spotlight, but because if you write, you have to rhyme in our culture. I'm forced into this situation. I love writing. I am a storyteller, as you can tell, this podcast. I love stories. I'm a story lover first, and I'm a storyteller. I love, when I do shows, I love meeting y'all and hearing your stories. Some of you guys have amazing stories, an amazing family. Shout out to my homie Miko, who listens to the podcast and is a member of the Patreon for the longest time. Him bringing his whole family out to meet me in Arizona and hearing just some stories and talking to his daughter is just, I'm a story lover. And secondly, a storyteller. But in our culture, they don't allow you to just be the writer and get credit. I want my credit, but I don't want to necessarily do all the shows. I don't necessarily want to shoot the videos. I don't like taking pictures. I don't like answering questions. None of that, really. I digress. The writing sessions. George Strait will go in and pick a record, and he can pick a hit. So there's something to having an ear. I guess Diddy is being accused of being a lot of things, but he definitely has an ear for talent and hits. Same with Dre and so many other people in this industry. DLC now being able to talk about his helping Snoop and writing for Dre is amazing, man. Credit that man. And I hear Dre takes great care of people and pays them well, so that's even better. But I don't think he has a problem admitting DLC did it. It's the culture has a problem hearing DLC did it. Even now I mentor kids, I tell them like, oh, Dre didn't write this, and Diddy never wrote a rap, and Eazy never. What? And I think it's a relief for them. You know what I mean? It's okay to get help in a session. It's okay to have a collaborative process. So at these writing camps, so they will pair people up, and you'll maybe never met this writer before, or, this is your writing team all the time. And then if it's a live writing workshop or writer's camp, the artist or the artist team and the artist will be there, go from room to room and pick out and hear what you guys did. And if you don't, you created a song that day. I don't believe you get paid unless it's picked. But my friend, Jesse Shakin, who was producing my last album and was my first producer, I guess, one of my first producers, along with Eligh and Elusive and Anacron. Sorry, I'd like to leave anybody out. Anacron did help with some of the first beats and writing songs. But Jesse was in a session, wrote a song called Chandelier with Sia. They put out the song. Now he and Sia have been a team. I don't know if they were a team before. I don't believe so. Sometimes these records become nothing, and then they're on your hard drive, and you can shop them to other artists. So this song, A Part of Me, was with Scar, who I believe is related to the Dungeon family somehow. Forgive me if I'm wrong. With Terrace Martin on production and some of his amazing musicians he collaborates with. Created this song, and Terrace is one of the couple. We had a Stray Bullet song called Aim Straight that never made the album. These are songs I wish I could play for you. We just couldn't find the right person to sing the hook. I really wanted to pay homage to Stray Bullet, Pharaoh, and Prince Poe, one of my favorite groups. And to me, Stress the Extinction Agenda is one of the greatest albums. I'm glad it's back streaming. I can't wait till the Get Down or whoever the fuck robs me of all my money by putting out the Ultra Platinum limited edition. And if it's signed by both of them, even better. The cover's done by Matt Dew, who was a link in the East Coast scene. He did that cover. He did the cover for Tags of the Times. I believe he did some work with Company Flow. LP is just great, man. Such a great writer. Shout out to L. I dedicate this to Matt Dew. My name is LP. I produce and I rap too. So cold.
I dedicate this to Matt Dew. Thank you. My name is LP. I produce and I rap too.
So Matt Dew did Tax the Times Volume 1 cover, Stress Extinction Agenda, and New York legendary artist. Anyway, the Prince Poe remix of Stress is one of the best remixes ever. And I imagine waiting for that album to come out. I was a little behind the time on Organized's first album. I think it's Who Stole My Last Piece of Chicken. I could be wrong.
Of all the things my mama used to cook, I like chicken. You know that chicken I put in the refrigerator last night? Well, I expect to find it when I get home this week.
I was waiting for Organized Confusion album. I feel like I missed the boat, and I was ready. I knew how great Pharaoh was. I knew how great Poe was. I knew OC was from the camp. He was on Fudge Pudge. I was like, I'm ready.
If you know where you are, get on the mic, become a superstar. Performance signifies cultivated while spreading. Many lyrics memorized, embedded in my think tank, sharp as a shank knife. I strike the mic just as quick as a snake bite. Suck out the poison, yeah, go ahead, try it. Skills of an assassin, watch as I fly. Thorough, doesn't matter the borough, I'm swinging. Clear to the air, keeping the party people clinging.
When Stress dropped, I played the fuck out of it. And then when I finally bought the vinyl, I had the B-side with the Large Professor remix. And this is to me, one of the peaks of Large Professor.
Yo, it's the verbal assault weapon with words uncanny. You can fool me, but I cannot fuck with Rudy Giuliani. Press the panic button, shit, it's the schizophrenic cannon. I can kill it from the West Coast to the Atlantic. Nowadays, it seems it's hard to maintain. Can't take the stress, it's scarred, I'm going insane. If you can feel my pain, say yes. Yes. If you can feel the pain, say stress. Pharaoh, I possess the skills to bring it to your chest with lyrics and manifestations.
That era, when he had the verse on Midnight Marauders, from the projects to PJs, fuck them two DJs.
It's extra PAO tip, I'm about to set it on the country once again, here to win. I'm uptown chillin', taking in this Grandmaster Vic blend from the projects, the PJs, fuck them two DJs.
Because I was a Main Source fan. Looking at the Front Door is responsible for songs like this. This is perfect, look at God. Looking at the Front Door was a girl song that didn't say bitch, and I memorized that.
We fight every night, now that's not kosher. I reminisce with bliss of when we was closer, and wake up to be greeted by an argument again. You act like a 10, so immature. I try to concentrate on the cure and keep looking at the front door, thinking if I were to evacuate, you'd probably be straighter than straight and wouldn't have so much hate. Cause you don't know the pain I feel when I see you smiling. And when I roll up, you start
Breaking Atoms, whoo, classic. But then finding out what a producer, I didn't know what a beat maker or producer was when I was just jamming. I was like, dude, this dude's rapping and doing the beats? Then when I find that out and he didn't put anything out, Main Source broke up, they had a new dude, Mikey D, I think. Where's Lodge Professor at? And then, oh, he's on the Tribe album. This is back before the features are listed and you're even looking for features on record. He just comes in at the end of that song and you're like, oh, he lets you know everything that's been going on. And like a little bit more, I didn't know he's from the projects. I thought he's Canadian like the other dudes. I didn't know anything about Large Extra P. And then that remix was like, Large, and the work he did on Nas's record. But to me, those are the two, that verse and that beat, one of the best rapper producers of all time. Anyway, Aim Straight didn't make it. This is another song that Terrace was like, the hook is here.
We live and we die. Life is full of surprises, and I can't get over the fact that you're gone. I try to realize you're not part of my life, but I still try to fight, but it just don't seem right. 'Cause you're not here anymore. I can still see you walking out the door. You're just a memory.
I didn't know Scar. I didn't meet him till randomly one day at my mama's house, like helping her making groceries. This motherfucker D1, shout out to him, I just saw him making groceries. Oh, you finna go to the store and make groceries? Or however he said, I can't even do my New Orleans D1 accent, but making groceries.
So we're at sound check, and I'm about to leave with this man. And he said, "What time you got to be back here for? What time you got to be back here for? What does that mean? What time do I have to return?"
Bro, what time you got to be back here for? Real ones know what I'm saying.
Nah.
Anyway, I was making groceries for my mother, or I think that's what they call bringing in the groceries, making groceries. I was making groceries for my mother in Midtown, back when she lived there, and Scar was like, "Hey, are you Murs?" And blah, blah. I sang the hook, and that's just random. But I didn't meet him until after the record was out. Anywho, I heard the hook, and all right, we live, we die, life's full of surprise, and I just filled in the blanks.
We live and we die. Life is full of surprises, and I can't get over the fact that you're gone. I try to realize you're not part of my life, but I still try to fight, but it just don't seem right. 'Cause you're not here anymore. I can still see you walking out the door. You're just a memory of what used to be. Sitting with my head between my hands. I know I never get you back again. I never meant to hurt you, never meant to make you cry. Myself, I am who I am because of you. I'm sorry for the pain I put you through. Maybe it's all just a dream, but you're still a part of me.
I didn't think you'd do it. You really leave me. If I did, it'd been different, believe me. It's easy to say, baby, I'ma change. The very next day, it was back to the same. Going through my phone, finding new names. I said it was business, that was so lame. You saw through it, it held me down. A real queen, you held that crown. You made such an impression on my life. Natural progression was you to be my wife. We talk family, we talk kids. You thought I'd calm down, I never did. I brought you home things from the road before. Malaysia, Australia, silk from Singapore. But what I gave you this time you can't get rid of. So you left me, tired of this sick love.
Sitting with my head between my hands. I know I never get you back again. I never meant to hurt.
Speaking of surprise, I have never had sex with anyone while I was in a committed relationship with anyone. So this is a stretch for me. But I exaggerate one of my fears. The Rock and so many wrestlers say like their personalities are them turned up to 10. So my fear was always like what kept me from cheating. I was scared to get AIDS. I was always scared to get somebody pregnant. I didn't have any pregnancy real scares ever in my life. I never got the call that I'm pregnant until my wife got pregnant with our first kid at 40 something years old. I've never. Was I 40? Yeah, I think I don't remember. But anyway, no, yeah, 39, whatever, like late in the game. So my fear was that if I got a STD, I'm giving it to a person that I actually cared about was another fear of mine, and shame. And I had a scare of that later in my life than I should have, which is one of the reasons I got married. I'm like, why am I fucking around like this? Thinking I had something and thinking I gave something. Like calling someone and saying, can you get tested? Is whack. It's super whack. Makes you feel like, but I wasn't in a committed relationship. So at least I feel like, you were rolling the dice with me. I didn't say I wasn't having unprotected sex with other people, but it's just so filthy. Just follow the 10 Commandments, people. And don't end up like me. Jesus. Literally. Anyway, so I did, but when I was writing the song, I had never given somebody anything. It was just a fear. And still, I think I can safely say I never did that unless someone ever told me. But like someone I'm in a relationship with, cheating on them and coming back home, this has helped me keep my snake in its hole, as my mother says, while I was on tour for many years. So I think that's one of the reasons this song didn't really, strike a chord. But I love being coached by Terrace. This is a moment where I'm seeing what the world will eventually see on a grand scale. I think a lot of West Coast legends already knew that Terrace is one of the greatest musicians in the world. Fuck you. In the world. Terrace Martin is one of the greatest musicians in the world. I won't limit him to hip hop. I won't limit him to jazz. I won't limit him to the West Coast. I will not limit him to America. He's one of the greatest musicians. Terrace Martin is that guy. There's no one I've met that is more committed. I've met people as committed to their craft. I rarely meet someone who makes me say, oh, I gotta step my devotion to my craft up. I rap for 26 hours. There's people who broke my record and all that other shit, but there's nobody that broke my record with the track record that I have. I rap on top of rapping, on top of doing all the shows, on top of sitting with rappers in 3 different states once a month and talking about rap all day and listening to them. I love fucking rap. And Terrace Martin loves music the same way I love rap. I rarely meet a person that makes me, even more so, that makes me want to step up my commitment and my devotion and my work ethic. Terrace Martin is that guy. And so just, I don't really love this song just because it was me. This first time I'm not writing something personal. I'm really exaggerating. It'd be the equivalent of me making a song about selling crack. Like actually doing it. So, but it's beautiful. Scar sings his ass off.
I'm sorry for the pain I put you through, baby. It's all just a dream, but you're still a part of me.
Sitting here listening to the record you bought me. Kinda blue, original copy. You changed my life, put me on to so much. I miss our talks more than your touch. Such a fool to lose such a good thing. You showed me parts of my city that I'd never seen, parts of myself that I never knew existed. Then I got famous, I got it twisted. You needed me, I didn't need you. Find you a man that can do what I do for you. I flew you to Rome, I paid for this home. How you coming at me like you grown? Forget what I did on tour. I said I loved you, you needed more. Why you tripping? You need to understand. Sometime a man's gotta be a man.
Sitting with my hair between my hands, I know I never get you back again. I never meant to hurt you, never meant
pass out, you would come tuck me in. Where you at? Baby, I need you. Never knew all the pain this would lead to. I'm sorry I lied, tried to deceive you. You said you'd leave, but I didn't believe you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Girl, I'm sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
The ego, like, that part is true. Like, you know, like, definitely had a lot of ego in, like, problems women would have with me. I'd be like, bro, like, as far as rappers go, like, I'm not fucking nobody on the side. I'm not giving, like, why do you give me grief? Have you talked to other women who date musicians? Like, what the fuck? And the fact that, like, what would you be doing without me? Or, like, find someone else. You know, that ego, especially when you're a young black man who's, like, unfortunately in this country, making six figures, well-traveled, able to afford you not to work. And, you know, so I definitely did, as we say in this culture, get the big head. Not between the legs, but on top of the neck and shoulders. So I definitely, this time I had got the big head and been like, you know, no one likes that thrown in their face. If you can provide for someone, if you can show someone love and take care of them, and with some field do what a man's supposed to do, that doesn't make you special. But it's a tough road when you are around so many foul motherfuckers or lazy and trife motherfuckers. And then you look at the person's track record also. That was also to give you, like, man, who was you fucking with before me? Come on now. So that, I was guilty of that. I got to put a little bit of that in there, and I was working on humbling myself. But yeah, like coming home drunk, stumbling, all that shit out. That's fantasy. I'm writing my Tyler Perry. I was in love. This is definitely still never not loving Tyler Perry movies and Tyler Perry, bro. This is my Tyler Perry song. Yeah, I've been wanting to mention. I love another book of Tyler Perry-ish, a very ghetto version called "I'm in Love with the Coco." That book is dynamite. If you are into urban romance novels, I thought I was gonna bring it and read it to you. I might just have to do that. New 3MG song should be out by now. Make sure you check it out. It's called Laserbeam. My son named it. It was, the song's about 3 or 4 years old.
The year was 1993 MG. We stepped onto the scene, spraying sun and having fun. Our journey had just begun, but we knew we was the baddest. Met a few more rhyme travelers and made it to legendary status. 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 MG. Go.
I'm local folk in the spirit world, a dream weaver and a tour guide. Adios, get ghosts like smoke on furrows and a break on through to the other side. Out the limits, I've been spinning in them, kaleidoscoping with a twisted mind. Dilated, open book of pages, take a look and wait for the sands of time. I'm an amenity, rarest merits inherited in the zodiac. I'm Aquarius, compare me to the variants that are still unknown to the map. Mystery enigma, Egyptian sphinx before they snip the nose. Despite the face I figure, I help you puzzle piece the picture. I got a nomadic mugshot, I don't flow like your homeboys. I sound like I'm dipped in different linguistics, my own voice. From a trio of griots, Murad and Miracle Shaman.
This is the beginning of what you'll hear on the new album, what you hear on some of the EPs are released. When all this was training for my final album, I wanted to get back with the guys I started with, sharpen my sword, as they say. Wanted to work with various producers, do various tempos, styles. So I'm double timing on this, which I hate to do. The only person to get a good double time verse out of me was Burns, I think. I struggle with it. But I wanted to get back with the boys. I knew I was bringing my career to a close, my recording career, and I wanted to get with the people I started with. I'm a very intentional person, full circle person. So coming back and working with Jesse was important. Jesse did this beat. So I think it was when we started working on, when we decided he would produce my final album, which was almost 4 years ago now, I think. He sent some beats over. I was like, can we use some of these for 3MG? Because 3MG was like, let's do something. I think it was once the pandemic hit or right before the pandemic hit. And I let everybody, and that's how long I've been working on this career closure. So I was like, let's start working on something. We put out the 3 during the pandemic. That was the start of it.
Melancholy is a metabolic cinematic frolic with a planetary tenderoni making love the anatomically correct biology. I never phony got myself adrift inside another galaxy. The womanality is just an analogy, but Mother Earth is on the brink. So what you think we gotta bring it back? Taking it to the limit with no gimmicks. If feminine when you spit it good, ready to hindrance to the innocent victims of monolithic stylistic midgets. A murder mystery of tunnel vision, looking out the window. Never knew they needed us. A super realistic manifestor, and I never been a jester, not a joker. Filling up gas in a super soaker, burn rappers alive while they doing yoga. Singing my light lead with exposure. X-ray vision with a team of soldiers. Call us gypsies, call us rovers. Roaming the land in the Testarossa.
And then I was like, let's get Jesse involved, because we all started rapping together and over his beats at his house on his 4-track. And he produced Laserbeam. My son named it. And this is definitely when I was really, thanks to my Twitch community, shout out to the mercenaries, I started really getting into Lil Yachty and BFB to Pac-Man, if you don't know them, but I've mentioned them here. And like just a real calm, not trying too hard, but putting fun, just being good, but not forcing your goodness. You know what I mean? Like good and graceful. That style.
Diamonds, get it with your headache. Switching lanes, I'm scanning, bitch. Damn near tan the bitch. Me and my bitch be sharing the bitch. I'm done running my 50 men, I feel like reflating bitch. Ain't got a can this bitch, they upping on me, I'm down the bitch. Pretty ass hoe point on my drink, I just stared at bitch. I got 7 rooms filled with clothes, it's also on the way in this bitch. Yeah, ain't talking about no TV show, when I say I got bear in this bitch. I had to figure it out the hallway, no I don't care, little bitch.
That delivery and recording sitting down, which I never do. So most of this new record was at least the first rough drafts were done sitting down, trying to just find my pocket, not trying so hard, not forcing it. As you can hear on this podcast, I talk really fast and sometimes I don't finish my words, and that puts me ahead of the snare a little bit. So everything was real calculated. That's why if you are here, I we're up to a lot of lo-fi on some of the EP projects with Rob Victim or Eligh. That's like Murs in the Cavalcade of something, Cosmic Crips and Interplanetary Pyrus, like that project.
Wrote her a letter to get her. She was on the badminton course when I met her. Sweater tied around her waist, covered up the bump. Could still see she had a little something I had to hump. Watched her at lunch, but I didn't approach. Even followed her home, I was doing the most. She lived close, right up off Casitas. If I time I walk.
Slower, trappy, like everything. I wanted to try everything and try to do it well, so that when I got set with Jesse, we would do 2 songs every Tuesday and Saturday, and just kind of like, I wanted to do like 60 songs and pick the best 10 type shit. So like I wanted to be ready for him to throw anything at me. And this was one of the early ones. So I'm rapping fast as fuck. And something I learned from Terrace, I guess this makes sense, something I learned from Terrace is like having the cadence. Just da 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 da. And sometimes when you do writing sessions and writing workshops, some rappers, if there's a rap part or a producer that doesn't rap, will just do la 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 la. And there's some motherfuckers out there that because I know these producers, a lot of them, there's some motherfuckers out there that be puffing out their chest, and I'm like, I have that beat with that cadence. Motherfucker. Don't you dare point your finger at someone else right now, bro. That's the weird shit to me. Like, it's okay. But what Terrace told me is that I could do that for myself. And that, I was like, okay, so before you try to fucking come with your words that you're so important, Murs, and you're like, I'm a storyteller, like, I had to learn to be a rapper and like be a musician. I could just do spoken word if I didn't want to respect the music. So I got this beat from Jesse, and it's just like, no, 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 no. And I'm saying that to my iPhone while it's the pandemic, so we're just walking our kids around the fucking whatever. And I had time. All we had was time. And I'm like, cool. This is a beat I would just pass on because I don't want to rap fast, or just give it to Eligh and Scarub, or try to straddle it and rap super slow. Because I sometimes try to balance that, since I'm the guy that is not the best fast rapper by far. And I have 2 very excellent double timers or choppers or spitters, however you want to say it. So I always try to like find my lane and maybe like be the balance. And I am on some of the songs, but this one I was like, all right. That's why you hear me at the beginning of the song. All right. Okay, boys. Like, I'm like, if this shit is trash, y'all let me know. Like, cause I don't really rap fast, and I'm up here with some fucking, to me, like the giants of fast rap. Yeah, and I just did that cadence and then filled it in with words. I just did the whole, I came up with cadence, listened to the beat. And it was very frustrating back then because I'd have to play the beat and then say it into my phone. It's before I had the FYI app. If you're a rapper and you don't have it, fucking get it. Because now you can play the beat and then do your own audio over the beat at the same time. And it even, I think, will transcribe it for you if you just want to say your lyrics. Like, it's an amazing app for writers and so many other things. Commercial.
Want to add some AI to your life? Download the FYI AI app to have real-time vocal conversations with me, Fiona, and other AI personas. We can talk anytime, any place, about anything.
I'm trying to think of it. Should we go over the verse? Never been one to work for a rumble. How did the fish squeeze holy and humble? Juggernaut giant, king of the jungle, towers about. It's not, I'm not saying shit, but I can get off. Like, if you knew how long I had to walk around the corners taking kids, we had a little place with like some trees and space for the kids to run, and we ended up calling it the Honey Cave. I don't know who came up with that. My 2-year-old at the time, I think. So I'd be at the Honey Cave watching these motherfuckers ride scooters or pick dandelions and shit and just be, melancholy, malevolent smile, dealing with the deeds of a devilish child, head of the pack, bred of the wild.
Never been one to run from a rumble. How did the fish squeeze holy and humble? Juggernaut giant, king of the jungle, towers of Babylon, watching them crumble. Melancholy, malevolent smile, dealing with the deeds of a devilish child, head of the pack, bred in the wild. Hit them all up with a hell of a style. 3MG with a team with a dream, and it seems the fiends of the scene would agree. Scarab and me and E with belief on the beat with the heat, what you think it would be. Better watch how you speak to me. Up in the bubble so we can see. That's just comic relief to me. Never switching up my frequency. I've been here since the years of curly tops and khaki slacks. Doper than them opiates I kept up in my backpack. Analog, baby, but my currency is currently crypto and flip those in case of an emergency. The world is a mess. It's burdened with stress. They asking for more, but giving us less. Keep some on the floor and some to invest. Rolling with the rebels ain't never gonna settle. Put pedal to the metal, the devil don't rest. The year was 1993 MG.
Like all those things. Like, to me, they're also like more visual and literary. Like Head of the Pack. I think Head of the Pack. I think Wolves, and then Call of the Wild. I think it's a Jack London book that we had to read, and probably all you guys had to read in 6th grade or 5th grade or whatever the fuck. So I'm like, okay, Call of the Wild, Head of the Pack. I'm talking Wolf, like, Head of the Pack, bred in the wild. Hit them all up, above with a hell of a style. Below, hit them up like balance. Head of the Pack, bred in the wild. Hit them all up with a hell of a style. And then 3MG with a team with a dream with the scenes of fiends of the sea. Bro, if you know how many times I walked around saying melancholy, malevolent, and trying to like nail that, there's no way that I could rap that strongly. Like, we got to perform this shit. By the time you hear this, I will have performed this shit. But saying melancholy, malevolent, and not fucking it up. But I had time today. I would just sit at my desk, and while I'm walking, just A-E-I-O-U, Aesop, the Black Wolf taught me that, stretching your mouth out before you, and enunciating. 3MG with a team with a dream, and it seems the fiends that C would agree. Scarab and E with me with belief on the beat with the heat you think it'd be. Just flipping it. Man, better watch how you speak to me. Up in a bowl so you can see. Comic books up in a bubble. That's just comic relief to me, but it's also funny that you're trying to talk to me disrespectfully. Never switching up my frequency. Something else. Up in a bowl so we can see. That's just comic relief to me. Never switch on my frequency. I've been here since the years of curly tops and khaki slacks. Oberlin and Moby used to kept them in my backpack. That was just like kind of tribute to Gifted Gab. Another one of the best fast spitters of all time. Just trying to use that style.
Victorious valid, violate vibes that are vain, make them vanish. While I'm all well, what a wise wordsmith. Just weaving up words, weeded up on my work shift. Xerox, my X radiation glows, extra large, X height letters, xylophone tones, yellowback, yak mouth, young ones yawn. Yesterday's lawn yard, sell I yawn. Zigzag zombie, zoom into the zenith. Zero wins and thoughts, overzealous rhymes, Z-lots.
Good. Can you say it faster?
I think now that I'm older, I can imitate someone and not be a biter and just be like showing paying homage. I don't think he had passed yet. I think I had just bought, I think it's when he had just put out an album on Patreon during the pandemic. Someone told me not to drive Love and Rockets too. I'm just like, I feel like people need new music. Like, I was home and able to listen to music for once. So when Gab dropped something new, I'm like, yeah. Man, 4th Dimensional Rocket Ships Going Up or whatever the fuck, that album is amazing.
Gifted Gab, 4th Dimensional Rocket Ships Going Up.
to the ink on the paper from the top of the brain. Ghetto youth's on rhythms that are louder than pain. From Soweto to Cali, it's all the same. People in chains, but 8-year-old children cock it back and take aim. See, just the other day, I was catching a cab. The driver came from his country to America to grab a...
I was a hater because of like Soul Sides and my imaginary problems with lyrics and all these things. So it was hard for me. I love Black Alicious, but it was hard for me to like really feel it because of the drama I created in my mind. But once my homie Dustin told me, like, listen to this new Gift of Gab, and he knew I was like a lightweight hater of Soul Sides and the whole shit. And they signed Quantum, and Quantum signed Pigeon John, one of my favorite rappers. And if you haven't heard that Quantum Pigeon John album, there's a song on there, I think it's called Dragon Slayer. There's a song called like I'm a Gangster for Real. Oh, one of the best rappers of all time, one of the best live performers. I can't say it enough, Pigeon John.
I'm a gangster for real. I feel so damn gangster. I'm a gangster for real. Sitting in my backyard, looking at a little squirrel. I'm drinking some coffee, feel like a whole different world. Plus I got the bomb rhyme skills. I got Hawthorne backing me up. Plus my wife looks good. I got butter soft seats all up in my truck. Yep, I'm banging some Depeche Mode. Windows down so you can see my fresh mode. Yeah, my 6'4" is only in the 10.
Before Dimension Rock, the welcome back from the first track, He Had Me.
As we proceed, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to the days and the times are old. Welcome back to the classic stories that's been told. Welcome back to Diamondback Vice painted chrome. Back when life was a way more simpler zone. Welcome back to 501 and acid wash jeans. If you had tough skins, you didn't want to be seen. Welcome back to cap sessions till the sun went down. Slap boxing way before you ever left the town. Welcome back to one-on-one fights with no rounds. Being fired, fat boy, signing session at Tower. Run DMC, Houdini.
And so being at the end of that 3MG verse to be able to, I've been here since the years of curly tops and khaki slacks, open in the Mobius, I kept them in my back. But also sitting down, like I sit down to do this podcast, it gave me a chance to really fuck with my voice and my style and like learn how to inflect and I don't say learn, but relearn. Cause it's not just passion. It's not just like, you know, but all in one verse, changing up my patterns and my cadence. I'm always words first, story first. I buy comic books for the story, not the art. I can ball them up and throw them away. That's how I feel about, and I'll say I feel about beats, but like beats, I'm like, I'll rap to anything. I just want to rap. Let me say what I got to say. I'm very important and I got a lot to say. A la this podcast. But that was another reason when people ask, like I see LL's doing well with this record and I'm so happy.
Y'all need a new team like a girl with a BBL need new jeans. It's in my DNA to let them play in the enclave, percolate while songs play. Andre the Giant, 3,000 ways, make a Mobe. I'm seasoned with it. Floor seats, who need ticket? Time's up, get your signs and pickets. Wanna see me in the desert?
I don't think I'm stopping because I'm old. You know, there's always just, you know, we're humans, so we judge. But like, I'm not stopping because I don't think I'm old or I'm irrelevant. I think that I'm getting better. But as I was telling you, like I'm rapping while I'm watching my kids. I'm not fully present and I can't do that anymore. And now that I don't write raps in my head while I watch my kids, there's a fucking difference. It's even like people's like your phones distract you from parenting. I don't like my phone is not as important to me as my rhyme. So imagine that. If you're a parent, have ever felt guilty about being on your phone and not watching your kid, or they slip or they fall, or you're just not you're not there. Writing raps will have you even not there. It's worse because the kids think you're there. I'm writing in my head. And that's something I thought about recently as I'm working on my homeschooling. Like my son's daydream, one of my sons daydreams a lot. And I'm like, oh, you're just a kid you're a human that hasn't found their passion. I was a daydreamer until I found rap. And then I was just working I was making raps in my head all the time. And that was me and creating stories. Or you're a writer, you're an author, you're a painter. You're not a fucking daydreamer. You're just a human that needs to find their passion because you're a thinker. Daydreamer is just so dismissive and it's cool, it's cute, And there's people who daydream sometimes, but if you're labeled as a daydreamer, to me, it doesn't give you enough credit. Like that's also an entrepreneur. I never clock out of work. I haven't clocked out of work since I sold my first tape. And I'm talking about even mixtapes. Like when I was 14, 15, I started selling mixtapes. That was it. I haven't clocked out ever since.
I used to sell mixtapes, but now I'm an MC. I got the rhymes and beats. I used to rock them tapes. I used to sell mixtapes, but now I'm an MC.
Or even since I discovered hip hop, like how am I going to sell sodas that I buy for $2 a six pack for $1 each to school so that I don't have to steal from the warehouse and get caught or talk my brother into it and my friends into it? Like we used to have like a whole scheme and all. Like I've been constantly thinking about how to create or obtain or be a part of hip hop culture or make a contribution financially, audibly, graffiti wise, DJ wise, breakdancing for years, and it never shuts off. But before that, I was a daydreamer. So I think, and maybe not all, but I think you're just a person who hasn't found their passion yet. So I don't discourage the daydreamer. I just try to help him find his passion and hope that it naturally catches. And part of your daydreaming could be figuring out how to make profit off of these ideas that you're manifesting. Like daydreamers, like find what they're dreaming about and help them manifest it.
Daydream. I fell asleep beneath the flowers. For a couple of hours. On a beautiful day. Daydream. I dream of you amid the flowers. For a couple of hours. Such a beautiful day.
As a spy from behind my giant robot's eyes, I keep him happy cause I might fall out if he cries. Scared of heights so I might pass out if he flies. Keep him on autopilot cause I can't drive. Room enough for one, I tell my homies they can't ride.
That should be how we harness these children, telling them to focus in on some bullshit you're trying to teach them that's irrelevant. No more writing raps while I watch my kids. It's worse than texting and driving for me. So as LL can do well, you can do well. But for me, it was time to wrap it up because I was only 4 kids. And full, like, you know, my eldest spends the summers with my ex-wife. But other than that, he's with me. He travels with me like this is my guy now. So I don't have time to, like, I'm thinking about how I can teach him at every moment, you know, and it's good. Like I love, you know, we found a fucking red velvet ant on a hike today. And that became part of like, okay, how do we use AI to describe what we saw, but not rely on AI to tell us everything? Because now we know what we saw. It's going to give us 6 options. So now how do we use Google to look at the picture? So like we took something from real life, we discussed it, and then we put it into AI. Then we got some answers. And then, you know, circling back to real life will be when they go home and tell their mother about, we saw a red velvet ant, and show the picture. Found a wasp nest, talking about that. We found a bumblebee. Like, these are all things that I can do with my mind now that I'm not rapping. I'm a better parent. I don't know how this turned into a parenting podcast. Didn't want, the breakup is one of my biggest songs ever. And I wanted to be able to really, really dive into that. I think maybe I'll start doing it, and I don't think there's much to talk about. But that is, if I have a hit song, that is one of my hit songs, and it's also a song that I worked on for about 2 years or a year and a half, writing it.
I hate you, you hate me, but still can't escape. We and all the bullshit we've been going through lately. Heartbroke, love struck, telling y'all it ain't me. Life without you, girl, is something that I can't see. I ain't gon' lie, say I don't get lonely, but it's only so much I can kick it with the homies. And somebody told me you already moved on. I broke up with you, you ain't supposed to get your groove on. Not now, at least wait a couple weeks. Got me looking like a chump with my business in the streets.
A session that didn't make the album was me with DJ Toomp, and I don't know if we talked about that, but that I did some weird ass songs on purpose. Like, imagine me with the guy who produced a lot of Young Jeezy's hits. But after we had the meeting at Tom Wally's house, he's like, go out and try whatever, man. Toomps in town. We were fucking, and I went to Chalice, which is an amazing studio where a lot of Tyler, a lot of dudes do that shit. It's a nice place. So I went and had a couple days blocked out in Chalice, and man, it was fun. But mostly I was telling me about the history of the South, and T.I., Jeezy, him working like back. I think DJ Magic, Mike Toomp is legendary. He's Rudy. He's like he's the beginning and still currently relevant. But then he had Gip come through the session, Big Gip from Outkast, and just, man, the coolest dude. That's why so many people love him, man. You gotta love and respect Gip. So when I did the new EP, I was stretching my limits, working with this, I don't know, want to call him an EDC. Some people call him an EDM producer named Daily Bread out of Atlanta. We did a project called ATLA. I had to have Gip on there. He's on a song with me and Brother Ali.
Being rich don't make you wealthy. Being vegan don't make you healthy. You don't love yourself, you just love yourself. Headed straight for hell, somebody help me.
The world was crazy, social media became gone. Ain't nothing real, the whole shit flown. Celebrate the fake while you cancel the real. The money is the illusion that the devil reveals. Make the young kill and steal just to get the paper. And OnlyFans is the only man she know. You say you a vegan, where the crops you grow. It's sprayed 5 times for us out the stove. How you a rock star? You don't write, you don't do the beat.
The session didn't go anywhere, but fuck, I'm so glad I had that session with Toomp because, of course, Goody Mob had a huge impact on how I rap. And I'm a huge fan, but getting to be a fan of him as a human was dope, man. So shout out to Big Gip. Salute him. Zaga.
They call him Gip Zaga. It's the mutant Mr. Get Down. Live wire, words poke you like barbed wire. Maroon rain, sugar cane, oil stains. My right leg longer than my left foot. Put stripes next to squares, still get a circle. See spirits off in people, I don't see colors. I'm a special mind, yeah, a special kind. Conceived in the South at a special time. Covered in leaves of gold, scripture written in scrolls. Spoken so clearly in tongues so my children would come. Look around, can't you see the industry? It look like me.
I don't wear the clothes you wear, I'm just different.
Thank you. Make sure you stream the 3MG project. We're going to be releasing shit. I think the CD should be available. Just tune into the social medias or follow. We're not releasing it on our individual pages due to various things with DistroKid. So you have to type in 3 Melancholy Gypsys. There's a song right now, or The 3 is the first song, and Laserbeam is this song. So Laserbeam and Melancholy should pull it up because I don't know. You don't spell it out. I think it's THE, the number 3, Melancholy Gypsys. I always have to remind you guys of what mental state a bunch of 14-year-olds have to be in or 15-year-olds have to be in to name their group. 3 Melancholy Gypsys. None of us has started doing psychedelics yet, by the way. I don't believe. On the verge, on the precipice of stepping into the other realm, but not quite yet. And we are already bizarre. Wait till you see the album cover. It's us when we were actually kids, like in the shit. Love y'all. Have a good week, man. Thanks for listening to the Best Rapper in L.A. podcast. Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing on Spotify, Apple, wherever it is. If you like the show, leave a review on Apple Music or Spotify. And to support the podcast directly, go to patreon.com/MURS316, Murs316. See y'all next week. Peace.